Tonight on CTV News at 11:30. Layoffs are coming to the hospital in North Bay.
You've got the hospital pretending that these cuts will have no impact on patient care.
It's just some of the big changes being implemented to deal with the deficit. Plus 2 years since tragedy rocked Sault Ste. Marie.
I think it gives us purpose and hope on a day that would be daunting.
Mourners gather to pay tribute at the Voices Against Violence rally. And another mill is temporarily shutting down. Interfor in Gogama will be idle for the next 2 weeks.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Well, good evening. Thanks for staying up with us. Layoffs are coming to the North Bay Regional Health Center as officials look to deal with a budget deficit. Parking is also going up, as well as changes to how some services are accessed. CTV's Eric Tashner starts us off tonight.
The hospital says major changes are coming over the next 6 months in order to meet budget requirements. 40 full-time and part-time positions will be cut. While those jobs are being eliminated, the hospital says actual layoffs could be much lower when retirement and attrition are factored in, as well as the fact 14 new positions are being created.
You've got the hospital pretending that these cuts will have no impact on patient care, and we say that's hogwash.
The hospital is trying to find savings of $5.6 million, writing, "We have done everything in our power to meet our financial target and find savings equal to 2% of our budget."
Their actual costs are more in the neighborhood of 5%.
The hospital is also reducing the number of physician leadership roles starting January 1st. This is a reduction of 20% with no change in doctor numbers. The parking rate is also increasing starting in January. The one-time exit pass will be increasing by $1.25 to $7.25. The hospital adds it is not unique when facing complex challenges, including operational pressures, financial constraints, and an increased demand for services.
The Ford government can't escape its responsibility to provide funding so that hospitals like the North Bay Regional Health Center can provide the care that they need to.
The hospital says it's working with the provincial government to find both funding and operational solutions to create an innovative and sustainable future for its patients. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
Nipissing MPP Vic Videli says the changes will not affect patient care in the city as the government is committing more money to Ontario healthcare. In a statement, he writes, "For the North Bay Regional Health Center, annual funding has grown by $49.3 million since 2020, representing a nearly 20% increase." Adding, "This increase is the reason why the changes announced as part of their long-term planning will not impact patients in North Bay." It's been 2 years since Sault Ste. Marie was rocked by tragedy, intimate partner violence. Angie Sweeney was among 4 people murdered on this date in 2023. Today, a rally to remember. CTV's Corey Nordstrom reports.
Survivors should never have to repeat their trauma multiple times to be heard.
The second annual Voices Against Violence rally serves as a way to turn grief into action.
I think it gives us purpose and hope on a day that would be daunting and, really hard for all of us individually and collectively as a family.
Exactly 2 years ago, Angie Sweeney was one of 4 people murdered in a case of intimate partner violence that shook Sault Ste. Marie to its core. Angie's Angels was then formed, and many in the city have looked at ways to prevent a similar tragedy, including city police. An IPV unit now follows up with those who call in cases of domestic abuse.
We've done almost 1,200 callbacks to this point. We've had initiated over 40 new occurrences and laid 10 new charges. So I do believe our officers are, asking the right questions at the time.
I think it was a catalyst for the conversations. It was a catalyst for change. A lot of great things have come from that, but the fight is just beginning.
As of now, 106 of the 444 Ontario municipalities have declared intimate partner violence an epidemic. While organizers say that is a start, they want much more change from upper levels of government to reduce the number of incidents of femicide and domestic violence.
I think tougher bail, tougher sentencing for repeat offenders, I think, is really important, kind of at a federal level. At a provincial level, I want to see IPV declared an epidemic.
I think a lot of the work has honestly been done, like especially from the Renfrew inquest with the 86 recommendations that came from it. I would just like to see some of those recommendations be implemented.
Angie Sweeney's father, Brian, also hopes to start a province-wide tour next year to raise awareness on intimate partner violence. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
The Interfor mill in Gogama is temporarily shutting down. The facility is expected to be idle for the next 2 weeks. The union representing the mill workers, United Steelworkers Local 12010, confirming the shutdown today. While union representatives were not available for an interview, they tell CTV News the closure is due to economic uncertainty stemming from tariffs. They add that some workers will be brought back after the 2 weeks as shifts are reduced from 2 to 1. In an email to CTV News yesterday, Interfor said it's making temporary adjustments to its lumber production plans in the fourth quarter. Meanwhile, in Timiskaming Shores, it's full steam ahead with the first cobalt sulfate refinery. Funding has been confirmed. Electra Battery Materials says $82 million U.S. in capital has been secured from senior levels of government and $20 million from the U.S. Department of Defense. Currently, 94% of refined cobalt coming into North America is from China. Once operational, the new refinery will produce 6,500 tons of battery-grade cobalt sulfate per year, enough to support domestic production of up to 1 million electric vehicles. The new facility will also create 50 new jobs. Construction will start next year. 5 people have been arrested following a drug bust in Chapleau. Nishnawbe police and the OPP executing a search warrant at a home in Chapleau after an investigation into traffic in the area. Police say they found $67,000 in drugs and cash. Each person faces multiple counts of possession for the purpose of trafficking. Shoplifting appears to be on the rise in Greater Sudbury. That from retailers tonight. CTV's Madison Merrier has the story.
According to the Greater Sudbury Police Services, shoplifting reports have almost doubled from over 1,100 incidents last year on their online reporting system.
Unfortunately, a lot of these crimes are crimes of opportunity, and they also are related to socioeconomics, addiction, mental health. So we do our best to identify and arrest these individuals and hope that the courts hold them accountable.
Talking to a lot of the businesses in the neighborhood, they're experiencing it as well. It's tough times for people out there, but you know, theft is theft, and I don't think that is something that they should be resorting to, especially when in the community there are resources for food and clothing.
Fabili continued saying that the theft from the charity shop is growing more alarming for her and her volunteers, and that people stealing cannot be stereotyped together.
What we're noticing is lots of the shoplifters have become more brazen and more aggressive. You know, we ask that bags are left at the front counter for everybody, but some of our shoplifters come in, load up their arms full of clothing, and will literally just walk out the store.
That is what loss prevention is for. So they do try to detain an individual who they've witnessed commit a shop theft. However, if a person becomes aggressive or violent in that nature, we ask that you just let them go. We are going to follow up on the incident and investigate it.
GSPS says that many shoplifters are repeat offenders, oftentimes at different stores, but some will shoplift from the same store multiple times.
If there is a finding of guilt, so for example, they take it to trial, they run the trial, they lose the trial, the lowest you can get is a discharge, right? The maximum, technically speaking, the maximum penalty on a theft under $5,000 is going to be 2 years less a day.
However, Pillay said that in cases of theft under $5,000, time served is left to the judge's discretion based on individual circumstances. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Earlier this month, the city of Sudbury announced plans to expand and centralize services at Energy Court for the homeless. As CTV's Angela Campbell tells us, the news is concerning for Sudbury businesses near the site.
There are less than a dozen businesses in this part of the city, some overlooking the encampment where hundreds live in tents.
We're trying to make it work for everyone in this case here.
The city councillor for this area calls the change a balancing act between helping the vulnerable while also reassuring businesses their livelihood won't be impacted, as this site will be a 24-hour social services hub.
There'll be safety, there'll be security. So it's not going to be carte blanche. It's going to be it's transitional. So we want to help the vulnerable, but we also want to understand the needs of the business owners that are surrounding the area.
Several of the businesses CTV reached out to declined to comment. Speaking off camera, one owner says the cost of having the encampment nearby has translated into a need for security, repairs following vandalism, a loss of customers, and damage to their business's reputation.
They understand the need for services to help out the individuals that need those services, but they just want to make sure that it doesn't affect their businesses.
The impacted businesses are just outside the boundary covered by the downtown Sudbury Business Improvement Area, which has had its own challenges with the vulnerable population. It calls the Go Give project the right partner for the expanded services.
By relocating a lot of the services to one area, sort of a one-stop shop for the vulnerable to access, I think is the right move. Whether Energy Court is that long-term solution, I mean, I can't comment. But again, I think that's all levels of government will have to come together to look at what that is.
Given the concerns circulating, a rep with the Go Give project plans to reach out to reassure the nearby businesses. The 24/7 warming center and extra support at Energy Court will start November 1st and run until the end of April. Angela Gamble, CTV News, Sudbury.
The excitement in Toronto is building with only one more sleep until the Fall Classic, the World Series, kicks off. The Blue Jays and the Dodgers fielded questions from the media today as they gear up for the first game tomorrow night. CTV's Allison Hurst has the series preview.
Preparations are in full swing as the Blue Jays get ready to host the Dodgers for Game 1 of the World Series.
Everybody says it's a dream come true, which it is.
Coming off a big Game 7 win, a world of media attention has descended on Toronto, and players are trying to keep calm and have fun for the Fall Classic.
I played some of my best baseball in my backyard as a kid, so I try to bring that with me out there, and hopefully that can be a little contagious, and the boys can just relax and enjoy it, because it's a special moment that it may never happen again.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. says he was in touch with his mom earlier today.
She say she proud of me, and no matter what will happen, she always going to be proud of me.
Fans are also proud the boys of summer lasted into the fall and are feeling good about their chances.
We're on a run, and we got them, no problem.
My gut doesn't lie. It's saying Jays in 6.
We're an underdog, but I think the boys can come through.
Tomorrow's starting pitcher, rookie Trey Yesavage, knows they're playing for a huge fan base.
We represent this entire country, and we're this country's team. So we want to go out there and do everything we can to make this country proud of us.
For manager John Schneider, this is a career in the making.
I'm just thankful and humbled that I'm the one doing it, leading them into the World Series.
The LA Dodgers arrived in Toronto last night, bringing with them their star-studded lineup, drawing huge international attention. Starting pitcher and heavy hitter Shohei Ohtani, who was rumored to come to Toronto for the 2024 season.
He was a once-in-a-lifetime guy on your roster, but here we are, and I'm going to have to face him at some point.
Fans lined up early and all day, hoping to get a piece of the merchandise.
One of those nice World Series hats and maybe a T-shirt.
I was able to get some stuff for the older ones, but not for the baby. They have stuff for babies, but not World Series branded stuff.
Excitement and anticipation mounting ahead of Game 1. One of the biggest questions remaining is whether or not we're going to see Bo Bichette in the starting lineup tomorrow. Manager John Schneider was asked about that earlier today. He said he's going to watch him during tonight's workout, talk to him and his teammates. He says he trusts them before making his final decision. Allison Hurst, CTV News.
Time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Rick will have your full weather forecast. For now, look at the current conditions. And we have drizzle right now going on, some freezing rain action in around Kapuskasing Timmins. A mix of flurries in around Wawa and shower. That's a little bit of a mix of everything. 1 in Sudbury, 1 in North Bay, 1 in Chapleau, 6 on the island. We'll have details in a moment.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Well, as I always like to say on Thursdays, the weekend is almost here and some better weather and temperatures are in store here in northeastern Ontario. Forecast radar, some precipitation in the form of snow, sleet, shower mix with snow. And of course, some cooler temperatures, not only for this evening, but overnight and continuing into tomorrow. But things will perk up and we'll see some better weather. Here is the proof. Sudbury nickel belt. Here we go. Chance of showers at 6 for tomorrow. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Here's your streak of sunny skies. Sun and cloud tomorrow at 6, then 8, right through Sunday until Wednesday. And of course, that's slightly above normal, which is 7 for this time of the year. Meanwhile, in Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, chance of showers tomorrow at 8. Another 8-degree day on Saturday, sun and cloud. Then sun and cloud Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. A little bit of shower activity on Wednesday, but that's okay. It's only at 30%, but the temperatures certainly a lot better at 8, 10, 11, and cooling off to 9 on Tuesday, Wednesday. A look now at Timmins Cochrane Campus. Casing showers, flurries for tomorrow at least. That's in the forecast for now. Expected high around 4, dropping down to -3 overnight. Chance of sleet on Saturday. Then we have no less than 4 consecutive days of sunshine. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. 7 and 8 degrees, your daytime highs. Here we go now with Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake. Chance of sleet at 40% tomorrow. Expected high around 5. 4 with the cloud cover on Saturday. Here we go again with the sunshine right through until next Thursday. 6, 7 degrees and warming up. And of course, 7 is your normal for this time of the year. Your overnight lows -2, -3, even -1. Not all that bad. And at North Bay, West Nipissing, chance of sleet for tomorrow at 30%. 7 degrees your expected high. Cloud cover on Saturday at 5. Some sunshine Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Nice streak there. 6, 7, and 8 degrees. So again, some nicer weather coming in. No precipitation to really worry about. And here we go again. We're going from one extreme to another, but that's typical October weather. We go for some chilly temperatures to some warmer temperatures by next week. Ian, get ready for a nice weekend, and that streak will continue weather-wise. Back to you.
I'm ready for it. Thanks, Rick. Well, the 3rd annual Homeless Challenge is officially underway in Elliott Lake. It's an opportunity to raise important funds for Larry's Place, the community's only men's shelter. CTV's Lindsay Alick reports.
3 community members will stay in these tents for the next 5 days. Dwayne is a returning participant, while Darren will experience it for the first time.
It's harder than you think. I challenge anyone to do it.
I think the hardest part is going to be the cold, because it is the weather has been dipping down. But I think if we all rally together and stick together, we can do this for them.
The men both work at Larry's Place, the only men's shelter in the Algoma region ran by the Elliott Lake Women's Group, offering 6 beds for men and children.
It costs us over $400,000 per year to run Larry's Place. At this point, we don't even have 50% of that funding. Like, we are not funded at all by dedicated funding. It's been donations.
That's why this event is so important.
Increasingly over the years, we do have more people camping in the woods, camping in the bushes. More recently, 2 more encampments popped up closer to Blind River. And so that is definitely an ongoing concern for us, the increase in numbers of people that need the support of Larry's Place and our other programs.
Participants will stay here at Grace Christian Center until Sunday. Since its inception, the challenge has raised over $25,000 for Larry's Place. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Elliott Lake.
Quilts for Survivors honored a milestone today. The organization donates hand-sewn quilts to people who've survived residential schools, day schools, and other colonial traumas. As CTV's Lydia Jubak reports, the group's plan is to continue making more blankets to ship anywhere in the world.
Alberta,
This quilt marks a historic milestone for Quilts for Survivors. It will be the 8,000th time the not-for-profit group has honored a residential school survivor. Quilts for Survivors launched in June 2021, and the original goal was to deliver 215 quilts to First Nations communities. This one is going to a woman in Siksika, Alberta.
Now 8,000 and still going. I don't even know how to put into words how I feel. I'm very, very blessed.
As support for the endeavor grows, Genier vows to pair more quilts with people who request them regardless of where they live.
Maybe this time next year we'll be at 10,000, but we're just going to keep making them until people stop asking for them. We're going to try to get every living survivor, whether they're day school, residential school, 60 scoops, or other traumas, everyone's going to get one.
A councillor representing Missinaba Cree First Nation, Jenye's home community, says the quilts help recipients feel less alone.
I never even heard about residential schooling until once the government made their apology. It was never spoken of in my side of the family. So once the apology was made, then I'm like, what? I had to do my investigations, ask the elders and find out exactly what happened.
Quilts for Survivors mails out 5 quilts a day and says to meet its goals, volunteers are always needed. It's trying to attain new equipment and is looking for an investment partner to help it buy a new long arm machine. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, South Porcupine.
There was a celebration yesterday in North Bay after its big win. The city celebrated its National Award for Communities in Bloom. North Bay won bronze for a population of over 50,000. And you know what? There was cake. Congratulations. A major donation to support patients at St. Joseph's Continuing Care Center in Sudbury. Desjardins has given $500,000 to help build more rooms at the facility. St. Joseph's Continuing Care Center is a rehabilitative hospital specializing in rehab and supportive care for adults so they can regain their independence. The donation will build 72 private rooms for patients, with construction expected to be complete in 2026. Still ahead on CTV News. It was quite the barn burner in North Bay as the battalion took on the Peterborough Petes into overtime. More on that in a moment. A relatively quiet night for Northern Ontario hockey fans with just one game on the docket in the OHL, this one in North Bay. Lots of back and forth between the battalion and the Peterborough Petes. Bronson Wright, though, with a big shot tonight, tying up the game to send it into overtime. It's the 6'7" defenseman's second goal of the season. That's where Parker Vaughn took over, scoring the game-winning goal just minutes into OT. North Bay with the win tonight. They come out 5-4 over the Petes. They head down now to the GTA to take on the Brampton Steelheads Saturday afternoon. And only one game over in the NOJHL, this one down at the Countryside Arena in Sudbury. The Cubs come out the winners here, beating the Blind River Beavers 6-1. A Greater Sudbury man is $100,000 richer. Nicholas Sear of Chelmsford matched 6 of 7 encore numbers to win the prize. Not a bad way to invest your loonie. Congratulations. And 92-year-old Gilbert Dumoulin of North Bay picked up $50,000 playing instant bingo. She says a little home renovation is in her future. There's a new award-winning ice cream flavor coming out of Ontario. A chef is teaming up with a major cold treat producer to create this sweet inspired by his culture. CTV's Rob Cooper visited the creator to find out more.
Zach Kijig of Owen Sound is an Indigenous chef who owns and operates Nagan Restaurant in the city's downtown. While his dinner here will be served locally, a recent ice cream recipe is making international headlines. He teamed up with Chapman's Ice Cream to win an international award for a new flavor that pays homage and respect to his heritage while curating the ingredients of Indigenous culture.
It's been a great opportunity for us to showcase Indigenous food and put Indigenous food on the map of Canada.
The two created a new flavor called Sweetgrass, maintaining Indigenous heritage.
We've been serving a version of the sweetgrass ice cream, in our restaurant on the tasting menu for quite some time, but I wanted to showcase it on this sort of a level to, introduce people to Indigenous culture.
Chapman's no stranger to different flavors of ice cream, as they have about 180 in total. Chapman says they approached Kijig with the idea and knew it would do well internationally.
We said, let's give it a shot. Let's see if we can make this into like a real ice cream that we could kind of, market as a collaboration. So it worked.
And worked it did. International awards, international attention, and now big expectations to possibly keep it going.
We are always experimenting with different flavor profiles, but most of them don't make it in any way, shape, or form close to a grocery store. But this one was unique.
I'm hoping that it inspires other Indigenous people, to take a shot at putting their stuff out.
So what's next for the sweetgrass flavor? Chapman says if they can get it to a stable extract form, that may open the door for it to be available at your local supermarket. Rob Cooper, CTV News, Markdale.
Very cool and looks delicious. That takes us to the end of our newscast this Thursday night. For the latest news anytime, remember you can head to our website, CTVNewsNorthernOntario.ca, and you can also download our CTV News app. Thanks for watching. Good night.